So, if you can see me, there we go. I'm going to quickly do my shares. And today we're going to make two different things. I've put the links in the description of the video if you're wanting to know right this second. But I'm just quickly going to share my video and then we'll get started. Hi Karen. Hi Jennifer. Got several Jennifers. Okay, so today we're making two projects. I've put the links in the description of the video. So if you want to find the links and you can't stick around, or if you're watching later on, you can click on those. So we're going to make a felt heart earbud holder, and I've got a finished one that I'll show you because I already did one. It looks like this. So that's what we're making. We're making one of those, and we're going to make the blog post actually has a gift card holder pocket, but we're just going to make a heart pillow because just keep it simple and easy. So that's what we're making today. So let me tell you, we're just going to start with the felt earbud holder, and we can actually, I'll make one that's not a heart in case you're wanting to make one that isn't heart shaped. You can do it in any shape. We'll just do a circle. So hi Rhonda, hi Nordine. So what we need for the felt earbud holder is we need felt. And I just wanted to show you, there's lots of types of felt, but if you go to the craft section at your craft store, this is the felt you'll find. You can see it's very flimsy. Like when I hold it, it's flimsy. This is the felt that I'm using, and I got it in a bundle. It looks like this. I got it from Target that they have in their craft section. It looks like this. They're 6-inch squares, and this is firm. So I'm not doing anything different, and this is how it holds up. This is what we're going to use for our earbud holder, and this is what I like to use for projects when I'm not going to be, I just like this firm felt better. Oh, that's great, Carol. Hi, Kim. Yes, Linda, we're doing a zipper, but we're not going to do the zipper. It's easier than the normal zipper project, okay? So don't be scared. Excuse me. So I'm using firm felt. And we're going to make a circle and we'll make a heart. So for the heart, if you go to the blog post that's in the description that is for the pillow, you can grab the SVG and then just size it, like make it smaller, print it out smaller and cut it out. And then we'll trace it onto our felt. So that's where you're going to find this if you go to that blog post. Or you can just print one and trace it by hand. Totally up to you. That's your decision. However you want to do it. Then we're going to need a zipper, so you can use whatever you want. You could use a matching, like this one is purple, or this one is a dark purple. I'm going to use that one, I think. It doesn't matter what size it is, as long as it's bigger than what you've got, bigger than your felt. So this zipper is, this is an 8-inch zipper. It doesn't matter because we're going to cut it down, but you just need it to be longer than what your heart is, which is probably, you need about at least 4 inches of zipper, okay? And then you'll need a zipper, so I'm not going to use the purple one. I'm going to use, and then for my circle one, I'm going to use a blue zipper. Again, just longer. It doesn't really matter. And these happen to be separating zippers, but that also doesn't matter for this project. So we're going to get started by just grabbing our felt, and I'm going to take a pen. I'm just going to trace my heart that I've already got cut out. And this isn't going to show this pen mark, so it's okay. You can do like a Sharpie to make it thicker. Hi Marie, thanks. Thanks for watching. So I'm going to try and cut them at this together. So I've got the two pieces. You want two. I'm going to cut them at the same time if I can. And I'm just going to use, I'm not actually using my fabric scissors. I mean, I guess you technically could. Do you guys use your fabric scissors on felt? I just like to save my fabric scissors for actual fabric. But I guess felt is fabric. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm really still ticked about this video thing being sideways. They say they want to make it nice for people who create content, and then they do stuff like that to me. Okay, so I've got 2 hearts that I've cut out, and I'm going to do the circle too while we're here. you don't use your fabric scissors, Jennifer. So I'm just going to take two. I've got my two circles. So you'll notice for this one I'm doing different colors, and for this one I'm doing the same color. You can do just whatever is your choice, and I'm just going to trace this. So find something that's circular that you can trace, or print a circle and cut it out of paper and then use that as your template. So we've got that circle, and I'm just going to cut them both out at the same time. You can do them separate if you don't want to cut them at the same time. There's going to be opportunity at the end to fix this up and make it look, trim it up and straighten it up. So if it's a little off right now, that's okay. Okay, there's our circle for the most part. I don't know why this part is not circular. Fix that. Okay, so we've got two circles. Good morning, Patty. So we've got two circles and two hearts. So the next step is we're going to add our zipper. So grab your piece, and I'm going to use the piece with the pen on it because I'm going to write on it one more time. So grab your piece with the pen, and what you're going to do is grab your ruler and your pen again, and you're going to make a straight line wherever you want the zipper to be. The only thing I don't recommend is going straight down from here, from the middle. I just think that would, I mean, I guess you could. I just don't like, so I'm going to do a diagonal one. And I've done two here. The ones, I did this one like kind of diagonally across the side, and then I did this one diagonally. I'm going to replicate this diagonal heart. So I'm going to do a diagonal line, and I just want it to be straight. It doesn't really matter where it is. You just want to have enough inches on either side so that it's not a really small, like don't do it like really low here where there's hardly any felt on that side. That wouldn't work. So just in the middle like that. Then I'm going to take my, I flung that, my craft blade, which is just like an X-Acto knife, and I'm going to line it back up against my line, and I'm not trying to get all the way through. I'm just trying to make a cut. I'm just trying to make a score line. So, so that then it'll fold easy, and we've got our little score line. You can see it's not like, it's not by any means all the way through. It's just scored a bit. And I'm going to do the same thing on my circle. Just pick where you want. And the circle, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Right? It's kind of going to be straight across no matter what. And then take your knife and make sure you have a firm surface beneath. And give yourself that cut. Try not to go all the way through. Just, we've cut it so that it's got, you know, it folds much easier. I threw the top of this, so set that aside so I don't cut myself on it. Okay, so then we've got that. Now we're going to take our zipper, and these are I'm going to call them the tines of the zipper. Maybe there's a different technical term, but that's what I'm going to call them. And that's what we're going to line up along that straight line that we just drew. So the pen mark, put the tines face down onto the pen line, which is face up. So put your pen line face up and your tines face down, and you want to get them lined up as best you can on the pen line. So just like that, onto that line that we just scored. And then I'm going to take my clips and clip it on. The teeth, that's a good word. Thank you. The teeth is a good word. Okay, so we've clipped it on, and for now, it doesn't really matter where it doesn't matter where the pull is or the end of the zipper, just so long as you have enough. You want to have some of the teeth overlapping here and some overlapping here. Okay, good morning, Lucy. I'm going to just repeat that same step with my pink one, and I just want to have the teeth of my zipper, the tines, whatever we're going to call it, lined up with that line, and then I'm going to clip it in place. Just make sure it lines up. And this doesn't have to be perfect. Just do your best on this bit to get it lined up. I know you can't see it, so it's kind of a blind thing, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. So we've got that lined up, and again, just some teeth overlapping here and overlapping here. And now we're ready to sew this on. So if you are not new to my page, we've done lots of zippers. I'm not even putting my zipper foot on. We can do this without the zipper foot. And how I want you to do that is to just put your needle all the way to the side so that we're sewing just along this bit, and this zipper won't even go under the foot. So you want it to be all the way over so it catches just the edge of the zipper here, okay? And I'm going to use white thread, but you can use a different color if you don't want it to show. This will show, but I want you to be able to see it, and I really don't mind a stitch, like a stitch that shows, because I did make it, so I don't want to hide the fact that I made it. So my needle is all the way to the left here, and I'm going to sew all the way on the right edge of the zipper. And I'm going to start before I'm even on the felt. So up at the top, past the top of the felt on the zipper is where I'm going to start. So, nothing is even touching the zipper foot here, or sorry, not the zipper foot. Nothing is touching where the teeth of the zipper are. We're just on the tape, the very edge of the tape. The very edge of the tape for our zipper. So I'm just gonna and I'm gonna go off the end as well. And then stop. Okay, and then I'm going to just take that out, and I'll show you what it looks like. So we've just sewn, there's lots of threads here, we've sewn just on the very edge of the tape of the zipper right there. And I'm going to do the same thing, just by flipping this over, I'm going to do the same. I don't have to move anything, I've just flipped it over, I'm going to sew this other side. I mean, I don't have to move my needle or my thread or anything. And just try and make it the same distance from the teeth as the first side so that we're even. Okay. So we've done both sides. It's hard. There we go. Done both sides right like that. So we've got a line here and a line here. I'm going to repeat that same thing with my blue and yellow. Circle this time. Okay, and the other side. Am I backwards today? I'm having issues with my camera, so let me see. Let me see if I can get it to turn without being too crazy. Oop, there. Is that better? Okay. Then I'm quickly going to do the other side. Okay. Thanks for telling me. You guys can always tell me stuff like, P.S. for those of you who've been watching a long time, watching me struggle with my ironing board, it wasn't until last week that last time that someone told me to just lower my ironing board. Why didn't I ever think of that? And why didn't you guys tell me? No. Just kidding. Okay, so then what we've got is our zipper is sewn on both sides, right like that, on both of them. And remember, our zipper teeth are facing the felt. So now what you're going to do is grab your scissors and try and find that line that you created. And we're just going to take the scissors. Let me see if I can do it backwards. Take the scissors and cut where the teeth are, okay? So that's what I'm doing. Cut along that line that you, I didn't do it very straight because I did it backwards. Cut along the line that you scored. And then you can fold it back and straighten this out with your scissors. I love my new machine. It's super fantastic. And then fold it the other way and trim this felt up as well. Just try and make it even. It doesn't have to be perfect. So then we've trimmed the felt, and this is what we have. Now this is what we have. Okay? I'm going to do the same with my heart. I'm going to try and find that score line. It's not, the score line is just more so that I can find the line with my zipper when I'm sewing, when I'm laying it out. We're going to cut it off anyways. And then I'm just going to straighten this. And straighten this. Trim off that excess. So this exposes the zipper right like that. The next step, these are super, and especially if you're doing one, these are super quick. Now I'm going to take my zipper and move it to the middle. The pull. I want the pull in the middle so that we have it for sure. And then I'm going to take my second circle and I'm just going to line it up underneath. So now we'll have the front piece and the back piece. I did get a new sewing machine. It's the one I'm always going on and on about. I'm playing with it to try and, because it's the one I always recommend, and I've used it before, but I wanted to have it so that when I'm telling you to get it, I can be like, see, I have it, and it's amazing. Because I really think it's great for kiddos. And actually, I'm gonna teach my 8-year-old to sew maybe this weekend, because he's in a wheelchair, so he couldn't do a foot pedal, but he can do this with the start-stop button. So we're gonna do that this weekend, I think. Some kiddo sewing. So I've got remember, your zipper pull is in the middle, so it's not overlapping here or overlapping here, because we will sew over it. We don't want to do that. So the zipper pull is in the middle. And we've pinned together our two, so now these are wrong sides are in, so our zipper is facing out, and this is the back. My machine is a Brother CS6000i. I can get you a link if you're interested. So our zipper is facing out, the teeth are facing out, this is the right side of this, and this is the right side of that, so everything is wrong sides facing. I'm going to do the same thing with this, and technically if you want, you could trim the zippers now. I just find it easier because I'm going to trim at the end anyways, to trim later. So now I'm going to line my hearts up again, and there's not really it should be the same, but go. And I'm just going to clip it in place. I'm bringing thread with me. It's funny, a lot of people actually watch with their kiddos. Kids just love watching stuff. Isn't it funny? Okay, so here's the same. Show you again, my zipper is in the middle. I've got, the teeth are facing out. We've got everything lined up, wrong sides together. I got them, they're mini Wonder Clips. I really love them. You guys, what I'll do is I'll throw the link to my Amazon store where I have everything that I use. So if you're interested, you can find it all there. That way, I don't have to throw individual links. I put all my favorite things in that Amazon store. So, so that's what this is. It's right, everything is right sides out, wrong sides facing each other, and I'm just going to sew around everything. And again, make sure your zipper pull is in the middle, because if it's up top, you're going to not be able to use the zipper. Let's bring the needle up. And I'm just going to try and sew as close to the edge. That's a great idea, Marie. Yeah, this one is nice because literally all I'm doing is pressing the start stop button and then I have my hands free. So my son, I don't think he could work anything, like do too many things at once. So I think this is nice because he can just do the one thing. I can even press start and he can focus on this. I think he'll be able to do it though. So when you're sewing and you get to a corner, you want to stop. So this is the very bottom of my heart. I'm going to stop with my needle down, leave your needle down, pick it up and turn it so that I'm ready to go again with my straight line. And the nice thing about these is you can trim up the felt afterwards. So if it's not perfect, it's not a big deal because we can easily trim felt. And then I am going to back stitch over the zipper a few times just because I want to give my zipper pull somewhere to catch. I don't want it to come off. I don't want it to come off and lose the zipper. So I'm just back stitching a few times and then I'm going to continue on. I'm going around the curve, so I slowed it down just a little bit, and I'm just gently turning as I go. And then when I get to the middle portion, I'm going to stop it and pick it up and turn. So I'm at that little V in the heart. I'm going to pick it up and turn it. And then continue on. And this part, the top of the zipper that's open right now, I'm going to just kind of hold it closed a bit because I'm going to top stitch over that, back stitch over that a few times as well. But I want it to be kind of tightly closed. Okay, back stitch. I'm holding the button down to go slowly forward, which is nice. You can do. And back one more time. And around. And just throw a back stitch in right there. One more time. And we're done. So that's the end of our heart. We've gone around that. And I'm going to go around my circle really quickly in the same way that I've just done on the heart. And if the curve is too much, you can just always stop and pick it up and turn it if that's easier. Lay that flat. Oh, hold on. Okay, there we go. Oh, look at the buttons. Okay. I have not used a ruffler foot, but I have seen them. Oh, good, Jennifer. I'm so glad. I thought this would be a fun one for kiddos. It's fairly straightforward, but does some good stitching practice too. So we've gone all the way around. Remember, our zipper foot is in the middle. I keep saying that. Our pull, our zipper pull is in the middle. So now we're ready to trim. So just take your scissors and make sure you've back stitched really well right there where the zipper is going to be on both sides, because you don't want the pull to come off. So we're just going to trim it off, cut the zipper. Where's this? Cut your threads. Straighten out your circle if you've got a wonky one like I do. This is also something you could do easily with your cutting machine. Throw a circle in there to cut these felt circles out so it's not so crazy as mine. But that's it for this one. Look, then it's ready for your earbuds right in here. It's just a small little space. I don't have any earbuds right here, but you know, you can just throw your earbuds in there like this. It's not going to hold a bunch of other stuff, but it will hold your earbuds, which is super cute. I know, that makes me angry too. Okay, so there's that one, and then we'll just quickly trim this one up so you can see. I'm going to trim off my threads, like so. Apparently I've got, oh, that one's attached there. And then I'm just going to trim off the zipper, the excess zipper. You could do this with a much bigger piece of, if you can find the felt in a bigger chunk, like a bigger, more yardage, you could do it with a bigger one to make like a tablet case or something. But that's it. That's this project. I mean, it's fun. It's fun for the kids. They'll have somewhere to store their earbuds because, yes, I mean, I need it because I lose my earbuds all the time. So those are that's the, and you can do a similar colored zipper like this, or an off one like this, a coordinating, contrasting one. So now I also wanted to show you guys how to make a heart pillow. So we're going to do that next. So we're done with, yes, add a loop, do it. I'll show you. It would actually be very quick and easy to add a loop. So let's do it. Just since you asked, rectangle, fold it in half, clip it on, and it's not going to be the most beautiful thing. You could put it in like before you sew. So do this and put it in, clip it inside if you want. That would be a good thing. So clip it inside or just do it on the outside. You're going to have this will be showing in the back, up to you. So you could clip it in the middle before you do it and then just add it on. Easy, super easy to add a loop, add a carabiner, and hook it on their backpack. You could do that with this too. Super simple. Use your scraps. This was just a scrap anyways. Okay, so now also in the description of this video, you will find the heart pillow link, and that's where you can get the template for this and the written instructions if you're wanting to do do it later and not necessarily watch the video. You can cut this. I've got two things on there. There's an SVG, so you can cut this with your cutting machine, or there's a PDF, which is just half of a heart, and you'll cut it out by hand. So print the half of a heart and put it on the fold of a piece of fabric and then cut the heart out with your scissors. Either way, you can do it with your cutting machine or with, and then the blog post has a gift card pocket on the front. We're not going to do the gift card pocket, and I'm going to make it just slightly different than I did in the blog post. So there's that too. So I just want you've got your two hearts cut out, and I'm just using cotton. I'm going to clip them together all the way around. Wrong sides facing each other. So for this one, all you need is some cotton, or I mean, whatever fabric you want. You could make these out of Minky, but I don't really like working with Minky all that much because it's difficult. And then I just want you to grab a pin. Yes, we've used our clips, but I want you to grab a pin and mark and pin the side here. I'm going to do two actually, and I'll tell you why. So I'm just going to pin. I'm going to pin right here. This is where you're not going to sew. We're not sewing here. You could use clips with the Minky. Like if I'm making a blanket, like I did a self-binding quilt with some Minky, or a blanket, I guess, not a quilt necessarily. I did a self-binding blanket with some Minky, and I used the clips to attach to like hold the binding down. But when I'm putting two pieces of Minky together, I would definitely still use pins. Just because Minky is so, I mean, it might even slide under these because it's so slippery and just not easy. So I would probably still use the pins, but I have used the clips to do, like, if I was self-binding. Sorry, let me make some room. So we've clipped all the way around, except for right here, where we've pinned, just as a reminder to ourselves. If you can remember, and you're not going to get caught up in sewing, which I will, so that's why I've reminded myself, this is where I'm not going to sew. It is a mover. It's a mover and a wriggler and a shaker. So, hi Emma. So I've clipped right here. Pinned. I always say the wrong thing, sorry. I've pinned right there to remind myself not to sew there. And then we're just going to sew all the way around except for where we put our pins. And, I mean, use about 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's not super critical. As long as you use the same allowance around the whole thing, it's not a big deal. It doesn't really matter. You don't really need to back stitch because we're going to be top stitching. So with this one again, we've got the curve, so I'm just slowly moving my fabric. And it's mostly doing it on its own. I'm just gently guiding it. It's not a real heavy hand. It's a light touch. If you kind of move the rest of the piece where you want it to be, it will, the piece under the needle will follow. And then again, when I get to the V here, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to turn and go. And we're going to clip that. If I don't remember to do it, remind me, because we want to clip that seam right there. I'm bad about remembering that. And the nice thing about pillows is if it's not 100% lined up, it's not a huge deal because you're going to stuff it and you'll never notice. It doesn't have to lie flat. So it doesn't have to be perfect, which is nice. Got my hair, sewing my hair into this pillow. Totally lined up under there, so I'm just gonna, for some reason I cut this with a flat bottom. I updated the pattern though, so it's not flat. I don't know why I did that. Good morning. Thanks for being here, even if you're late. We're just starting this project, so you missed the first project, but you can go back to it. But this is the beginning of this one. So I'm just gonna stop where my pins are, and then we'll set that aside for a second. Let me heat up my iron, make sure it's getting hot, move some stuff out of the way, put the zipper up there, move this. Okay, I'm going to take my pins out. And then I want you to snip this corner here. So where your corner was, just snip, because we want to turn it out. And I'm just going to kind of do a few, and then along this edge too. I'm just going to notch it a little bit along the circular edges. And don't go into your stitching, but go near it. I'll show you in a second. This just helps it lie a little flatter and have a little nicer curve. Not necessarily lie flatter, but have a nicer curve when you turn it out. I don't worry too much if it's not like perfect triangle, like if the fabric doesn't come out. I'm not too worried about it. Because we don't, as long as the fabric stretches, as long as that curve stretches, that's all you need. That's all that matters. So I've just kind of notched, which is just taking triangles out of that curved area. And then I've snipped right here in the middle where my V of the heart is, so that it is really flexible right there and it's not going to pucker. Okay, then we're ready to turn it all out. And so just reach your hand in, pull it out. So if you're just tuning in, I think we have a lot of people just tuning in. We started the video with a project where we made these felt earbud holders, and you can share this video and go back to that if you're interested in making these. Share it, and then when I'm done with the video, when it's no longer live, you can scroll back to the beginning and see these that we just finished. And now we're finishing up our heart pillow. These are really fun projects. So we've turned it out, and you can take your hand or a pencil or, you know, whatever you want. Your hand works fine for this because it's not a small area, and I'm just kind of pressing against the seam to get it to come out and be nice and curved and flat. And here you can see, because we've trimmed it, it doesn't really pucker right there in the middle. So, who knows? So that's, if you're having some puckering issues there, you'll want to just inside snip it so that it can turn out a little bit nicer. And then, like I said, the pattern that I gave to you is a flat, is an actual pointed heart. I don't know why this one that I've cut, I cut it the other day, and I don't know what I was thinking. You know, it has a flat, it has the flat bottom. So then what we've got left here is we've got this, our opening. So before we stuff it or anything, what I want you to do is just, I like to put my fingers in the opening on either edge and just give it a tug. And that kind of shows me, that seems to be the best way. Let me press it and then I'll show you how it'll lay flat. And then you want to press that seam in so that it's nice and flat. It's fun for beginners, but it's also fun if you just want to make a bunch. Like if you are a teacher and you're wanting to give the kiddos something, you could make them all this little felt earbud holder. I mean, this whole bundle is just a couple bucks at Target. So you can get this and make everybody in your class one in no time at all. Grab yourself a whole lot of zippers, which you can get on Etsy as a lot for a good price, and it'd be perfect. So, because that's where we're gonna stuff it, and it'll be hard to get that in after this step. So first, press in your finished edge, and then we'll stuff it. And I'll give you the link again once I'm done to my Amazon store where I put this. This is my favorite stuffing. It's Pellon, it's Perfect Loft, which I really love. Sorry guys, it always seems to happen to me too that we've got like, you know, I've got like 400 people watching and it crashes. Like, so frustrating. Okay, so I'm sure we won't get back to our 400, but for those of you who are interested in finishing the pillow, all I've done is I've got my Pellon Perfect Loft, which is this, and it's in my Amazon store. I will give you, I think it's like amazon.com/store/sewwithalicia. Don't quote me on that, but I will, I'm pretty sure that's what it is if you want to look. So this is Pellon Perfect Loft. It's in my store because I've had several of you ask about finding it because it's hard to find. It doesn't pop up if you search for stuffing or for some reason. But you have to search it exactly by name. But this is my favorite. It's the small, it's very small. Like some of the stuffing is really clumpy and gross, but this is really small and nice, and it makes a nice stuffed feel. It's not clumpy like, I already said that, but that's what I like about it. So it bears repeating, I guess. So I'm just going to stuff it, and I'm going to make it, what you're going to do is just stuff the other side extra full, and then we'll pull some of that stuffing back over to this side once we've finished it up. So we're just stuffing it. I know this may look intimidating. It's really not much more difficult than just sewing a straight stitch. You've got the curve of the heart. And this part is not as scary as it looks, because you're going to just sew, again, one more straight stitch. Well, and curved, because I think we'll go all the way around. This, oh my gosh, so this is actually, I think it's last year's collection from Art Gallery Fabrics. They have a Love Story one out right now, a newer one, but I like to, I have so much fabric, I gotta use it up. So this is last year's, and there's a link to it in the blog post that was in the description of the other video, which I didn't put in the description of this video, but I'll throw the links down here too. And then I'm just gonna put both of these videos together, and I'll put it on YouTube. So if you wanna watch the whole thing from start to finish, that's where it'll be. So I've stuffed this pretty full, fuller than I want it, and this has a little, I've stuffed this a bit, but I didn't put too much stuffing here, because we're gonna sew over this. So I'm just going to clip this closed, and we've already pressed under, remember we've already pressed under the edges. So there's a couple things. I don't like to hand sew. So right now you could, if you hand sew, this is where you would use your ladder stitch to close this pillow up. But I'm going to top stitch around the whole thing. So I'm not going to just top stitch where this is, I'm going to top stitch the whole pillow so it gives it a uniform look and closes that hole at the same time. Because I don't want to sew by hand. It just takes so much longer. But I applaud those of you who do. Because I don't. Okay, so I've clipped off where we've got it, and I want you to leave and put as much of the stuffing away as you can so you give yourself a flat bit here. And then we're just going to sew around the whole entire thing. Oh, no problem, Kelly. So I'm going to start just above my clip. So I'm going to start here and sew around. I like to close up that hole first, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. And this is your chance. Make sure that everything is nice and pushed out and how you want it. Yes, thanks, Melanie, for being here. We had a little glitch, and so we had to start fresh. The first half of this video, like I was just saying, I'll put the whole thing on YouTube. I'll put this together with the other video, and we'll throw it on YouTube so you can watch from start to finish. We've done 2 projects today, so this is the end of our second project. And I'm starting well above where the hole is so that I make sure and catch it all. And I'm going to just do, I've got the 1/4 inch underneath, so I'm going to use a little less than a quarter. Oh, hold on. Stop. I didn't press the right button. I'm going to use a little less than a 1/4 inch. So it's gotten really cold here again. It was 60 yesterday and it's 16 today, which is crazy. It's just craziness. Make up your mind. Do we have? Sorry, I'm not as familiar with this machine, so I just want to make sure I've done it right. Okay. All right, now I'm ready. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to top stitch around the entire pillow. And I guess I would say this is probably about 1/8 inch allowance that I'm using. I'm gonna we've made sure and closed up that hole there. And then once your hole is closed, just take a break, and now you can kind of readjust the stuffing so that it's not, what is going on here? Stuck somewhere. So that it's not all in that one side. That'll make it easier when you're top stitching. You can just, as you go, kind of push the batting, the stuffing aside. You can totally sew over it, but I just like to push it out of the way as much as I can. And again, I don't know why I cut this with a flat bottom, but the template that's in the blog post has got the pointed edge, so it's a little bit. So I'm just going slowly so I can, first of all, this is a new machine still, so I'm still learning it, but it gives me time to stop and move the stuffing around. I know how to use it, I just, I feel like it takes longer to get it all, I don't know, I feel like it takes longer for me than just throwing it in. And this is just for looks. You don't have to go around the whole thing, the entire pillow, but I like to give it a cohesive look. I'm too lazy to hand sew, but I like to be not so lazy and just top stitch the whole thing so I don't have one little portion that is top stitched and the rest is not. Push the stuffing out of the way. It makes it much easier to sew, and it won't push your, hi Denise, it won't push your, the foot will push your pillow out if it's too stuffed and full. Oh, good, Anna. Thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad it's helpful. I love to help people sew. I taught myself, so it's always nice to put stuff out there that helps other people learn. And the other thing you'll get from me and my page is mistakes. So that way you know that you're not alone in making mistakes, because I've been sewing for a really long time and I still screw up all the time. So it's certainly, if you're looking for perfection, I'm not your girl. This is not the place. So, we're almost done. It takes a little time with the stuffing to get it moved around. Got around those curves, just this last little bit. I'm just going to back stitch just to keep that. Okay. definitely human. Make mistakes. Things happen. Facebook makes huge changes right when I'm trying to get in my groove and we're working on it. Life happens and throws curveballs at you. Okay, so I'm just going to trim up my threads, and that's why you backstitch, so then you can just trim them off. They should be kept in nice there. So here's our little heart pillow, and then you'll adjust the, you know, kind of work the stuffing around because we've moved it around a lot. But that's our heart, and it's fun, cute little gift. This would be, I mean, you could use it like for the ring as a ring bearer kind of pillow. I don't know. Oh yes, Anna, it's perfect. Like, so I'll show you the machine since we're already in it. We're already deep into this video. So here, where is it? So right here, all you have to do is press this button and it will start and stop. This is the back stitch button, and you just hold that down or press it and it'll do a backward stitch. And then this is your speed. So you can go super slow if you also have limited function in your hands, like my son. You can go super slow so that you don't make any huge, it's not like taking off on you. Or you can go real fast if you're more advanced and can do that. But this is, I mean, so this is new for me. I've recommended it for a while and I love it. I don't put tags on my items, but you could definitely do it. I'm sorry, I get really distracted. I want to answer that question right now. So I really like this machine, and especially for, no, I didn't get it at Costco. I have a brother that I've used for over 10 years that has lasted me like a really long time. So I have good, I have faith in the Brother brand. I really like it. So anyways, I really like this. If you don't, especially if you don't have use of your feet, you can just use it with your hands. Love it. Love that about it. So coming from a special needs family here that needs things like that are adaptable and adaptive, I really like that. The question that I was going to answer was tags. No, I don't usually put tags, but if you're going to put a tag, you would put the tag, if you're curious, you'd put it in when the fabric was right side together and we were sewing around the seam. That's when you'd throw a tag in and put the raw edge with the raw edge of the fabric, and then when you turn it out, you'll have the tag that sticks right out. So that's how you would add a tag. I do have them, but I just never think about doing it. I don't know, I guess I should. So here's our, look how that's cut. The heart's right there. That's kind of cool. I didn't do that on purpose. That was accidental, but it worked out well. So here's our heart pillow. The blog post has a pocket on here that you could put a gift card in if you were going to give a gift card or a Valentine or a lollipop or something, if you're interested in that. So where did I order the tags? I got the tag. You can get the tags on Etsy or Fat Quarter Shop. I actually got some in one of my shipments from Fat Quarter Shop. They have I will give you a link for that. I will throw a link on here for that too. You can get them on Fat Quarter Shop or Etsy. You can get custom ones on Etsy. They'll make you your own, whatever you want them to say. You can make your own even, but I've never kind of gone that far. I think you could use your Cricut and a pen and draw them. Cut it on fabric and draw them and make your own. That would be fun too. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to put these two videos together and then I'll put the whole thing on YouTube so that you can find it. And it's all in one place. Yes, a tooth fairy pillow. You could make it in a square or make it a tooth shape, whatever you want. All you have to do is cut it out and, find the shape you want, trace it, and cut it out on fabric. And then use the little tricks to notch and everything to get it to have a nice flat area. You can adapt the idea in lots of different ways. So, all right, I'll put the videos together. I will get all those links to you that we've talked about in both videos. And I'm probably going to comment on the other video. So if you were watching the other video, that's where I'll put lots of the links. So go back over there, and then I'll throw the YouTube link on both videos. I'll comment on this video too. I don't have anything else to do. So, okay, I will see you guys. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a good day.